Time for the Corona Cero post-show. It's been another really fun day here at Ballito. The sun has shone. Happy people on the beach, and surfers, well, contrasting fortunes for them. If they made their heat, they're gushing about how much they enjoy their time here. Otherwise, it's sharpen your pencils and head to California for the US Open. A little bit of time to think on. All natural ingredients from today's fun include the thoughts of you two, which has been fun to call it with. We haven't had loads of heats, but the ones we've had fun. Cheers, you guys.
Cheers.
It's been cool.
Cheers, cheers, cheers. Love your work, everyone.
You guys been enjoying yourselves?
Absolutely. How could you not hear?
Thoughts on the day, Jess, so far? So we didn't surf a ton of heats, but what we saw is situations where surfers have been having to be a little bit pragmatic as well. They're not maybe necessarily trying to make highlights real. They're just trying to stay alive in competition because you really want to bring your best towards the weekend and finals. Yeah,
definitely. I feel like we saw a day where we saw a lot of people go out with a game plan and have to adapt out there and change their outlook on the heat. A lot of people were thinking, let's catch heaps of waves. They end up sitting and waiting, or other vice versa. And I think the people who adapted the quickest in the heats were genuinely the people who got through. And that was kind of our common theme throughout today. But I mean, if I had to pick a moment for myself, it's Nadia Erostabe. She was just in fine form today.
Let's pick out one of our heats that shone for us. Third heat of this morning. And we see surfers coming in, and we see surfers with names that we know, and some we're really discovering more about their story. But it was Sierra, Kerr and Teresa Bonvalot ultimately too good for the competition in this one.
I mean, these guys were looking so switched on. Teresa with a really traditional approach to this heat, just big power turns, and that's what we're used to seeing from her. We know that she's going to bring her absolute best to every single heat, but this lady, you never know what you're going to get with Sierra, but we knew with this one she wanted to go to the lip. She started off in a similar manner with some really strong power cards. Nana Ho put up a great fight as well, but it was Sierra who just decided to take it to another level. And Teresa, I mean, she gave it her all here today too.
Yeah, Teresa did good, and then of course Sierra came in with the innovation on this one, set up, and she got the air rotation here. There we go, lands it perfectly. That would have felt really good on form. This was
India Robinson.
Yep, on that good wave, and yeah, it was a tacky. Sierra absolutely stoked with that win. You could see her all smiles, and that was one of the hits of the day for sure. Sierra's going to go into the next round with that progression and be really unfamiliar for the next one.
Yeah, showing us that point of difference with that progression, going to the air, and despite the strong rally, bit of power there from Robinson, some nice speedy surfing from Suzuki. Teresa Bonvalot as well, getting through in second there, not needing to do too much. She's got plenty more in the tank from what we saw. So that was one of our first moments, and it really is, as we mentioned, just a case about trying to stay alive here today rather than trying to maybe do too much or make mistakes. You're not going to get maybe that many opportunities, although we did see some quite high wave counts go down, Jess.
Oh, we did. We saw a lot of wave surf today, that's for sure. And I think today as well, you know, we talk about those people who adapted really fast, and they were the people who got through the heat, but also the people who just backed, you know, the edge that they have over their competitors. Sierra Kerr was a perfect example for that. She does probably the best airs in the female side of the draw, or has the most accolades for airs. Used that 100% to her advantage today against some really powerful surfers. I mean, India Robinson knows how to belt a section and has that strength over Sierra. So she relied on her strengths, which is airs, and it got her a heat win in a very tough heat today too.
Another entertaining heat that came at us was heat 4 of this round, and it's one that's quite a bit of a story going on. It's really interesting to hear the thoughts after as well, because we're watching from here and we're thinking this is all going to the master plan, but actually Nadia was saying she had a shocker. But what about the quality from Kiara Goold, the youngster?
Kiara Goold was just absolutely alive. She started with that 7-point ride, and then we saw Nadia with this. This went 8 points, just absolutely whacked that first section, came around, got the finish, and these two really ran away with the heat. As we saw Nadia with that one single big maneuver, just so well timed, so well placed, and she worked for that. She rode 8 or 9 waves before she found that rhythm. And I think that was also a story of the day. How do you find that rhythm with the ocean? It was a bit of work. You had to catch many, many waves, and until it worked in your favor.
Yeah, see those numbers there, 8s and 7s coming in. If your surfers that don't make it through and you're stuck in the 4s, you're thinking, well, where are they finding those from? Where was mine?
Oh, it's so frustrating when you're on the other end of that, because you're like, how is there 8s and 7s out here? I've caught the same amount of waves as all of these people. And then, you know, for Ellie, she started off catching so many waves in that heat and then decided, all right, I'm going to drop and wait. And the momentum just moved completely to Nadia, who then started catching a lot of waves. Sometimes it's just how it goes in heats, and that's the beauty of our sport.
Time to get some fresh insights from the lineup. Winner of the last heat, she's standing by with the Frou Brew.
Laura, that was a great heat win. It looks really fun out there with the afternoon sun on it and with a much lower tide. A lot of running waves and look fun.
Yeah, it's really fun out there. They did the right call to like delay the start, and I'm super happy to make it through this heat. It was not an easy one, but yeah, super happy. And it was like against 2 of my good friends. And unfortunately, not everyone made it through this round, but yeah, it was a fun heat.
The conditions are still quite fun. They obviously called off the ladies or ran to the end of the ladies round. Are you going to go out to do some more free surfing, or how does your preparation look now leading into your next round?
Yeah, I was just like super stoked to be competing here in Ballito. I've been here for like 3 years, so yeah. And I'm just super used to these conditions because it seems a lot of like my home. And probably not going out this afternoon, but tomorrow morning I will definitely be out there because I'm the end of the round. So yeah, just I have time to like go get cold and then go back home, get a warm shower, and yeah.
Well done. Great win there, and we'll see you in the next round. Great surfing. Back to you guys.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I think we're seeing as well a bit of insight there into how she's been able to have so much success. Really thinking ahead when she's coming up in the draw, when exactly her heat's going to be, kind of planning, not over frothing, getting too excited going out now. She's actually going to chill.
Yeah, I like that. You know, not overdoing it. And I think all of these competitors would have their step-by-step game plan before a heat. And then when we have a day like today where, you know, we finish competition, we still have a couple hours left of daylight. We've been running right until dark the last couple of days. It's so important not to overdo it and overpush it and wake up tomorrow where you could be first heat of the day and be tired. So not a bad call there for Laura.
Speaking of tomorrow, it's time to check out the Surfline forecast, see what's coming when we wake up and throughout the rest of the competition window as well. Greg, what do you see in here, boss?
All right, so what I'm seeing tomorrow, we're going to see a little bit of a new sort of smaller mid-range swell with a better direction. I think we're going to see much of today that size, but I think conditions will be a bit better, especially through that afternoon low tide. And then as we're heading towards Friday, Saturday, Sunday, well, I'm seeing a little bit of magic here, possibly. I don't want to get anyone's hopes up too high, but I reckon a bit more swell, good conditions, and I'm eyeing out a possible really good finish early Sunday morning. Just watch that low tide. The tide's then going to move into the early morning. Beautiful winds, and I see a little bit of a deep, solid swell that could fill in then.
Yeah, interesting. So we're looking at the wave height there, but the period as well, just increasing a bit more of that rapid and more that classic Ballito that we're used to seeing perhaps.
Yep, I'm hoping. Holding thumbs. I think a couple of days of fun surf, and then Saturday, possibility of a bump up. Could be really good Saturday, even Friday. And for me, just keep an eye on that Sunday morning, early morning low tide, northwesterly offshore winds, and a good bit of swell out there with a bit of period.
Oh, mate, keep talking.
I
I'm
know.
buying. Yeah, I'm into it. Sounds
listening
great.
to him talk about the surf forecast. So good.
Short day today doesn't mean that we were short on highlight moments, though. We picked some out for you. The first of them, and I'd say even in the debrief in the interview after, maybe more relief than anything else for Alyssa Spencer, but she showed her class here, Jess.
Oh, she did. I mean, she's a world-class surfer. There's no doubt about that. She has that trademark backhand attack, and Liz, she's into the round of 16.
Hopkins never won a heat, unbelievably, in Ballito. Hard to see why with this sort of surfing, Greg.
Oh, that was strong surfing. She just has put so much time in here. And look at the spray coming off that turn. One single big maneuver. And she's carrying a lot of confidence. You can see in her face and the way she's walking around the competitors area, she's feeling good out here.
I think we had relief from Talia's window as well. I mean, she was just going for it as well. Only just surfed that board too. I mean, she had only surfed that once or twice before she came here, but look at that turn. I mean, that tail kicked out the back. She was super stoked after her heat and didn't qualify for the Challenger Series, but based on that, she belongs here.
And how flowy did that board look through those turns as well?
Another youngster, Tya Zebrowski, and no real surprise at all to see her in the highlights. Absolutely ripping in, but this moment you picked it at the top, Jess. Nadia getting excellent score.
This was my favourite wave of the day. That first turn was so classy, so beautiful, and just textbook surfing. I mean, that was a great bowl, and she just capitalised so perfectly on it. That injured foot doesn't look like it's hindering her at all, and got the highest heat total of the day, the highest wave score of the day. I mean, Nadia Erostabe, that's exactly how you want to surf a heat here at Ballito.
Yeah, we talk a lot about momentum with putting an event together, a multi-day event like this one. We've got a whole week of surfing, a complete contrast of conditions. You're thinking about scoring it good. It might be grindy. What have our surfers learned, do you think, so far from the past couple of days? What's sort of the key to success in the conditions that we've had and those that we might expect, Greg?
Prepare for the start of the heat. Get working early. Come out with that intensity. You got to find those waves and keep building. If a wave doesn't work out, get out of it, back out, find the next one. You got to keep up and down this lineup, finding those maneuvers. And you touched on something earlier. Look for that lip line. You want to be connecting with that lip as much as possible. The judges seem to be looking for those big maneuvers in that lip. Lots of spray, lots of intensity, and super technical and difficult maneuvers.
Yeah, just the scores we saw today, we saw some excellent numbers, but overall from the women, I think we could expect a bit more in terms of performance as well. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think we're going to see them level up when it comes to the round of 16. I think today they figured out, you know, exactly the type of heats they want to surf, or maybe they got their lineups right. It was probably a day of just, you know, ironing out those little 1%ers, and now let's watch them all build in the next round.
All right, well, we're going to come back for a call tomorrow, 9 a.m. local time. So maybe a little bit of high tide in the morning. We'll check that out. We'll put our surfers in the best possible conditions. We've cut some highlights for you guys as well to send you out from today. We're going to savour that moment with a refreshing Corona Zero. Cheers, you guys. Shot, eh? I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.